Welcome to LWP Labs. Learn with projects. Today's topic, single node architecture deployment in AWS. Please like, share, and subscribe.
So yesterday, from our course curriculum, we have completed this project team. Means you have just created a cloud environment. Okay, a cloud environment where you have deployed things. This one. Okay, so like you created your cloud account, and in that cloud account you created a server. We also created lot of, like, how can we create servers without subnet? We cannot create. We understand. We have to divide our cloud, which is full network, into multiple subnets, and then I told that you will be creating your servers. Like in public, the public server, the external server, which is accessible to outside. Private servers, which are not accessible to outside people, only inside. This private servers will be getting internet. How will it get internet? What is the methodology? Can anybody explain me the flow? Yes, so NAT is connected to public route. That is okay. How this is getting internet? Because NAT is connected to private route table. NATing means NAT will do what? It is like one-way flyover where only outside the outbound traffic is the egress is allowed. Egress. Okay, we call it as egress, and this is ingress. Okay, ingress is not allowed. Okay, it will block it. What is the reason behind it? Because I don't want to apply patches. Means I don't want my external world. There may be hackers. There may be some other people who wants to. I don't want to give access for our database and for our application environment to them. If they want an access, only we have to design our architecture in such a way so that something will be there here in the public, and that public will be, that particular device will be connecting to the internal device rather than they connect directly here. No, here and then here. Okay, something like that. So this is what we have actually discussed yesterday. Now, if I proceed further, so come here. Okay, so this was not yet completed. Okay, migration of a web application from on-premise. So on-premise we understood with some example. Cloud we understood, and we have migrated this particular HTML file yet? No. A sample HTML file we have not migrated. We just created it here. So how can we do migration and how can we do copy from one server to another server? All those things we will be able to see after some time. Okay, my main focus from this project was to understand this, all these three yellow part which you have understood. Okay, now we'll come further. Okay, this is covered the entire course term, as I told you. We will not go sequentially. Okay, now we have to actually understand this EC2 and this machine, this how to create machines and all. So we'll directly jump into our module 4. Okay, which is this. So C.1. When we do this, all the previous things, right, this covered in the entire course term will be automatically covered. So we'll have to now jump into these 5 projects, which are the very, very, very important projects. Okay. Now what we are going to do now, we will be not focusing on now this thing. We'll try to see as much as possible single node architecture. Okay. Here, run a web application on a single node architecture. So while we are doing that, we can create, we know that, okay, we can actually server, the one which I told yesterday, how to create server. Okay, we will try to see. So some of you, if you are a complete fresher, so do not worry now. Now you will be able to understand from scratch. Okay, yes, this is important. But so some of you who are freshers who didn't created AWS account, joined yesterday for the first time. So today you have to do this. Okay? Otherwise, things will not, you will not understand the REST architecture. So we started our project explanation on 23rd. Then we started the first project, which was migration to understand the VPC concept. Today is 4th day where we are going to complete single node architecture. Okay? We have to do this. Run a web application on a single node architecture. While we are doing this, we will learn multiple, we will touch multiple objectives. EC2, Apache, what is web server, what do you mean by web server, what is the difference between web server and an application server? Okay, how can we use web server as a proxy server? Here you use all these things. Okay, how can we have multi-node architecture? Okay, first we create this single node architecture, then we will also understand if your company will have multiple single node architectures, how can you merge into one single server? Like if you have multiple websites running in your company, which will be there, okay, a company will have multiple web applications, so like this. And if you have multiple like this, okay, one, two, like this many, think 200 websites are there. So how can you identify what all websites are having less traffic and can merge into one single? Okay, how will you be able to design this? So first we need to understand this. So copy this, okay, and see what we are doing. So I'm saying run a web application on a single node architecture. Yesterday you have done this, but then you don't have much knowledge on this single node architecture. Why? Because you have not created your EC2 machine. You don't know how to log into an EC2 machine. Okay, so we have anyway created our virtual private cloud. Inside that we have to create one server, and in that server we will log in as a from our home, from this laptop. We will log in here. This is V. Okay, we will log into this machine. Okay, and in this machine we will install few things. We will install something called web server. We'll try to understand now. Now you tell me all, if I want to connect to this server, if this is my customer, okay, which is outside my VPC, this is my VPC and this is my customer, and this customer, this is my static website, okay, a static website, something like this. Static website means, yes, this is a static website. Here I don't have anything like this is my website. Okay, here we don't have any database connectivity. Okay, only things are HTML, pure HTML, CSS, JavaScripts. Okay, those things. So if you see here, click on it, you can read the things. You can read if you want to learn something else, you can actually click on it, read it. But there is no database connectivity. Everything is being fetched from the server itself, from somewhere. Okay, but then there is no database connectivity. There is no complex business logic. If that is so, okay, if that is so, how will you run that? You will create one server, you will run that, you will copy that code here. Who will do? DevOps engineer will do. Copy code here. And now this customer need to access this website. If this is a scenario, only a static website, a machine, customer need to access only one server. Can you tell me if this server is having private IP? So in this scenario, can this customer access this particular machine? Is it possible to access? If it is possible, what should this machine have? This machine should have public IP also, right? So where should I keep this particular server? In public subnet or private subnet? Public. We should keep in public subnet. Okay, this is one architecture. Now you should know those things. Okay, because you now know the VPC concept. So now this activity we have to do. Okay, you have to know how to log into this server. Okay, how to create this server. So like we created yesterday, but then it was very fast. I told we will be doing it manually. So let us now log into your console. Okay, everyone, all of you have an AWS account. Log in. So whatever we are learning now, okay, these are not DevOps you can think of. Okay, these are all prerequisites. DevOps generally will start from module 5. Okay, but then whatever we are doing it is like fundamental, okay, which should be very, very strong. All these 5 projects here, these are the most important project of the whole DevOps, anywhere, wherever you go, which nobody teaches. Okay, and even if they teach, they will not explain you in that way, that so that it will feed in your brain that I have to create a multi-node architecture. So what should I do? You will know that, yeah, I will create 2 nodes, 3 nodes. But then what should be the architecture of that? Yeah, I can create 2 nodes, 3 nodes. Where should I create? Okay, how can I have multiple single node where multiple websites can run? Now, if this is a scenario, how can I use Docker to do the same thing? Okay, so this kind of thing, first you have to do this exercise. The next exercises, whatever we have in this class, will be somehow interrelated with this architecture. Okay, so you have to complete this. These are very, very important. Okay? So log in. Now we have logged in. Yesterday we created VPC, as I told you. Okay, you can click on this VPC. Fine. In this VPC, I told once you create this NAT gateway, okay, you have to delete the elastic IP also, to release the elastic IP, which I forgot. See, and now I will be charged for this. So you should not forget, please delete this. If you have created VPC, release the Elastic IP and delete the NAT gateway. If you do these two things, no charges will be there. For internet gateway and other things, we don't have charge. Okay. If you want to delete your VPC, in some interviews, right, they will ask you to delete VPC. They will share the screen. They will say delete this VPC without a single error. Okay? Without a single error, you have to delete this VPC. If your NAT and release, if your instances are there in this VPC, it will not be deleted. If your NAT gateway is there, okay, if your some elastic IPs are there, okay, attached to it, it will not be deleted. So first you have to delete NAT gateway, then only this particular, and you have to delete the instances, then only this server will be deleted, this VPC will be deleted. So whatever VPC you have created, you can delete. We will now use the default VPC which was given to us by Amazon. Okay, this one. You have created a VPC, you can keep it if you want. Delete these two things, NAT and Elastic IP, and you can use it in your whole class. Otherwise, you can use the default VPC. So fine. Once you have deleted, think that this is the only VPC which you will be having in your company. Okay. And here we'll go to EC2 service. What is EC2 service? It is compute power. Okay. So we need to understand that there is something called compute power, computing. Okay. So if you click on it, okay, this is your one server which you can see, okay, which is already there. This is your dashboard. Okay, here in this dashboard you can see a lot of things, which is one server I have, instances I have one. This is running instances. Elastic IP is 0. Here, no, whenever you see Elastic IP is 1, you should delete this Elastic IP. It is chargeable. I'm just explaining you a few things in shortcut. Okay, so this is one of the dashboard which you will be seeing, and in one glance you can see what all, how many instances are running, how many load balances you have, how many snapshots you have, and these things. Okay, fine. So we are going to create this server. So how many people are doing along with me? I want you all to do along with me now. Okay, this exercise. If you do not do it, you will not know how to connect, okay, to this server with Putty. Okay, so we will have to create such kind of profiles so that you will not be wasting your time in just connecting the server. Okay, so we'll have to create a profile like this. So that is why I am doing. I'm saying that you have to do along with me. Okay, 5. Log into the server. Okay, how to log into a server? This is like just initial days. We are trying this. First project is very important. This will create a base. After this, no, we'll have to accelerate a lot. So you will not understand those projects, whatever the other projects, if you do not do this. Okay. And if you do not do this 5 projects, you will not understand anything below. You may understand, then it will be like same like others are doing. Topic based course. It is not a topic based course. It's a project based course. Okay. By doing these things, whatever I am showing, you will get 5 years of experience, which is our actually motto. And after you do that, you will be eligible for applying jobs. Okay. Here you see, in go to general channel if you are there in my, and see how many people are getting jobs after learning this methodology. Okay. And you have to believe in this methodology. So, okay, and ask them, how did you get the job? Ping them directly. You can ping, okay, and talk to them. Fine. So now we are doing this. Let us do quickly. If somebody is not doing, you see the video and do it, but then complete this exercise. Okay. Now here, launch an instance. Click on launch. Fine. Once you click on launch, here you see you have Red Hat server. Okay. We will not use Amazon Linux now. Still, companies have not moved to Amazon Linux. Okay, they all are using Red Hat. So if you learn this, the same thing is there in Azure also, Google Cloud also, Oracle Cloud also. Okay, you are in currently which region? Mumbai. I am creating. You can select your own region here. If you are outside India, select your nearby region wherever you are. I am creating this server in Mumbai. Think my customers, they are there in US. My main customer base are in US. Where should I create this server? My main customer, like 2000 customers are in USA, 200 customers are in USA, and 100 are in Canada. Okay. So generally my 300 customer base are there in US, and some are in India, maybe very few. Okay. So where should I create this particular VPC? In which region I should select?
USA.
My USA region. Okay. Somewhere here. That is what. It doesn't depend that where are you. You can be anywhere. You can work from Dubai also. Okay. Wherever you are, doesn't matter. You can be in Singapore, but then you should not create now, go and create in Singapore. Okay. You should be creating in this. So many times in interview, now this kind of small silly questions will be asked, but then students will not be able to answer that because they have not worked on it. They will say, no, Singapore. So they will ask you like this, that you are in Singapore, you are working in Singapore region. Okay. And my customer bases are mainly my customers. You're working for a US based company and our customers are mainly US. It's a US retail market. Where should you, and now you have been appointed to run a web application, okay, or migrate an application from on-premise to cloud. Which region you should select? And then he will not understand. He will say Singapore. Maybe he'll say Mumbai. Okay, because he has worked in Mumbai when he is teaching, when he is studying. So do not say that. Okay, you have to select region based on the customers. Fine. Fine. So select this Red Hat. Okay, Red Hat. This is an operating system. So for creating a server, there are 7 steps. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. Okay, you should always select free tier. Okay, in the when should you select free tier? Not in Office. No. In Office, you will not have this AMIs. You will have it, but then you will not use it. Okay. What will you use? You will use your own AMI, my AMIs. You will have your own company's AMIs. You should be using that. Why we will use our own AMI? Because there are a lot of patches will be there. Vulnerability check will be there. Lot of things will be there. Okay. Security checks. You can't just use anything, whatever is free in market. Okay. In your company, you cannot use Red Hat free one. No. So if suppose somebody is asking you which AMIs you are using in your company, don't go and say, no, I am using free tier Red Hat. Okay. No, we can't say this. They will understand you don't have working experience, zero working experience. You are using your custom AMI, which is checked, vulnerability checks we have already done. Okay. From there. So select this Red Hat for now because we don't have our AMI. We will create an AMI here in this project. C.3. We will know how to create AMI, how to customize our AMI. Okay. Fine. What is AMI? Amazon Machine Image. It is like you purchased a laptop and Dell is giving you the image, the Windows image. Dell is saying, okay, what all images you require? I have Windows, I have Red Hat. So tell me whatever you require, I will give you that. I have Ubuntu. And you told them that, okay, give me Red Hat. And they are selecting Red Hat. Fine. Okay. Click on this Red Hat. Once you click on Red Hat, here you see there is T2 Micro. Again, as this is interview specific course, some of you might be thinking that it is very easy. So it is not T2 Micro. We will not, if somebody is asking in your interview that, okay, what kind of instance type you are using in your company, never say T2 Micro, never ever. Okay. This is also one of the tricks. You will be saying T2X, 2X large. Okay. Say this one. Okay. Say C4, 2X large. Okay. Or if you are working for a bigger environment, like maybe you are in a Kubernetes environment when we study Kubernetes. So we will not select T2 Micro in a company. Like I'm giving here training for CGI. I am not using 2 GB or T2 Micro because this is a corporate training. I asked my vendor to create a bigger machine. Okay. I asked them to create T2X, 2X large for all of them. Okay. Something like this. But here, because we are in this particular model, B2C, business to consumers, you are direct consumers. So we will be always in free time. It's not company, right? The company will pay. So T2 to T2 Micro. Do not select any other because it is free there. Next. Give 1, 2, whatever you want. I want to give 1 or 2. Okay, fine. I will give 1. Okay. Now here you see the VPC will be there. From a drop down, you can select your own VPC. Okay. Now how many instances you want to create? 1. Which subnet you want to select? For now, I don't want to select any subnet. Or anyway, we decided right here, public subnet. Okay. So we will select public subnet. In your company, for this architecture, you may select public subnet. But generally, I will not have this kind of architectures in my company. Okay. This is just to give you a feel now, for now. In company, everything will be in private. Everything will be in private. Nothing will be publicly exposed. if you are exposing something publicly, now here we are exposing it because we don't have any other option. We don't have VPN gateway and other things. Okay. Like in your company, you will use a VPN to connect to the private network. Okay. That is not there here. For now, we don't have any other option. We have to create this thing in public. Okay. Because this is one reason, VPN gateway. Second reason is my customers are public. Okay. So we have to use it. So you have to tell me after this project C.3, how can we make this particular server? We'll keep this and then still we will be able to access from outside internet. How can we access it? So we will be outside. The server will be inside. This will not have public IP. Still public people will be able to access it. We'll have to do that exercise. Okay. How to do? We'll see. For now, just select here any subnet. No preference will be good. Okay. Use subnet setting enable. So use subnet setting enable. No problem. Here there is something called IAM role. We'll select some IAM role. Okay, we'll understand what is IAM role later, and then later we can select. When we study chef, we have this particular exercise where we have to select IAM role. Okay, you can use shutdown behavior, like if you want to terminate it or stop it. So for now, we'll select whatever is default. Okay, do not change anything here. Later we'll also use this. Okay, for now, do not select anything else. Just select this. Do not enable CloudWatch monitoring. This will be payment. Okay, so do not select it. Just do this exercise. VPC, no preference, use subnet, whatever is there. Change it to 1. That's it. Next. How much storage you can add? 30 GB max, which is free. So this is, see, this particular volume is getting attached automatically to this instance type. So to the server, my volume is automatically getting attached. What will be there inside this volume? What is going to have? What is there inside this volume? Yeah, inside this volume, my operating system is there. This operating system will be there. Like you have your operating system installed in C drive, right? C drive. Similarly, here also we will have that, something like that. Okay, there. Next. There is something called tags. You can add a tag. Like this is suppose web server. Give this web server as a tag. Name web server. Okay, and then do next. Here you select the security group. You can select an existing security group or create a new security group. Okay. So create a new security group. This is very, very important. Here you see what do you mean by security group? Firewall rule. Instance level firewall rule. What is subnet level firewall rule? What is instance level firewall rule? This is my instance. This customer is trying to access HTTP, okay, public IP 80. So public IP of this particular server, and this particular application web server is running in a port 80. Okay. So here you need to understand what do you mean by port? What do you mean by security group? Firewall. So first we will try to understand what do you mean by port? What is port generally? What do you think? What is port? And total how many ports we have in a server? Any server. Total how many ports we have? Yeah. So 2 to the power 16 ports we have. Okay. That is around 65,535. 0 to 65,536 total ports are there. Okay. Here. So what do you mean by ports? Ports is, think like this, that a server is like your home. Total how many gates are there? You think like that there are total 65,000 gates. This is how other customer, anyone can communicate with this particular server. This is one way you can think of. The other way, this many ports are there. In these ports, any service can run. Any service, if you want to run a service, and that service, which is like web server service, any software, whatever you are running, that will run in some port, that will occupy some port, and it will run there. So every service now have defined one port, one default port. Like we are studying here in this particular class, we are studying HTTP. We are trying to understand what do you mean by HTTP in this whole class. HTTP is a protocol, okay, which here my customer will use to connect to this server with the public IP and the port number. Public IP is this, port number is that address where this website is running with the help of web server. So HTTP will always have a default port of 80. But can I change this port? Yes. Can I make 81? Yes. My HTTP can also read 81. go to 81 port, no problem. 82, 83, 34,000, 36,000, any port it can be HTTP. But then the default is 80. My browser, all these ports default is 80 here. See this here. If I give 80, it will not work. Why? Because here HTTPS is there. HTTPS and 80 will never work. HTTPS default port is 443. So HTTPS default port 443. HTTP it is 80. Okay. If I make it 443, 80 here, see it will not work. See, I'm giving here HTTPS and I'm giving here 8 and it will not work. It will be 443. So we need to understand what do you mean by HTTP and what do you mean by HTTPS, which is there here in secure web application. In this project, we will try to understand the HTTP and HTTPS, and we will try to convert one of the website which you are creating now to HTTPS. Okay, fine. So here, HTTP, and we are using an HTTP protocol. Okay, and then public IP, which is this, and 80 is this. That means my 80 should be opened here. This server should be opened for 80 port. My server should understand this 80, means this request. How this server will be understanding this request? First of all, you have to install some software that is HTTPD. Okay, so whenever you send a traffic which is HTTP traffic, a daemon should be there which should be understanding this. Like if I give you a Word document, if you do not install Word, Microsoft Word, how will you open these files? Similarly, here you have to install HTTPD for HTTP service to run. Okay, traffic to run. Okay, once you have done that, let us understand what do you mean by this static website, which is nothing, not connecting to the database, anything. Now this is running at 80 port. This is listening at 80 port. We call this thing as listening. So we need to open this 80 port, which we are doing here. Earlier for this, no, a network team will be there, Unix team will be there. We have to tell a security group, web SG. Okay, you have to maintain a nomenclature in your company. Maybe you can write like this: Camel KC. Web SG means web related security group. So first, this one will be opened for all. Okay. Why? Because my DevOps engineer will use PuTTY. PuTTY uses SSH protocol, and SSH works at which port? 22. So for SSH, here SSH service is also running, SSHD, and that runs at 22 port. HTTPD, that runs at 80 port. Okay. So this guy is trying to connect to this server with 22. This guy is going to connect with 80. So both things we have to open here. Okay. Here you can see you are opening for whom? Only for your IP, your public IP. So now if I give this, in this world, only I can open this. You will not be able to open the website. Or anywhere means anyone can open. This is called internet. This is IPv4. This is IPv6. Okay. Anyway, for now we will not understand. You can Google it. What is IPv4, IPv6? I will make it anyway. Next. Okay. All of you have done this. Those who are doing along with me, please do this and then do launch. And once you come here, launch. Here you see, you will be finding that it is asking you to create a new key pair. So create a new key pair and give here a key pair name. Maybe 8 a.m. August. Okay. Give this download key pair. This is key is like password. Okay. Download this. Before you should have only one key here. If we have multiple keys, things will error out for you. Means not error, but you will be confused. So only create one key, and whatever instances now we will create, we will use this key only for your thing. So launch instance, plus that's it. Here you see WebSG is already existing. It is saying me. So I will go and write 18 August. So I launched a server. Click on view instances and see this is launched. This will be running now for all of you. Running status. So you will get an IP address. Now let us create our lab environment. Okay. Type in Google Putty download. You have to type in Google Putty download. Once you click on this, you will get this particular link. Click on it. You can download Putty here. Now click on it. Okay. And now here you see there is putty.exe. Can you all see this? Download this. There is something called puttygen.exe. Download this also. So these two softwares you need to download. Putty and puttygen. Okay. So now what will you do? You will use puttygen. Double click on puttygen. Okay, and you can click on load. So puttygen means putty key generator. Putty can generate a key if you click on generate, but then I don't want to generate. Why? Because I have already one key. If you want to generate, right, you can do generate, and you have to move your mouse. The mouse movement will create this key. Okay, see, you generated it. This is your key, but then we don't want to generate our key because we already have a key which Amazon gave us. So load. Once you load, go to downloads. Here PPK is there. Select all files. Select the PEM file. Once you double click, you will be clicking on save private. Yes. Once you click on that save private key, click on desktop and type here. Okay, done. Here you see 8 a.m. August. This PPK file should be there for you. Those who have not generated, you can see the video and try to do it. For now, you just watch my screen, guys. Okay, you don't have to do it together. Okay, and check from there. Fine. So now here, what will you do? You will come here, you will copy this IP, this putty, right? Double click on this putty. You will get this particular thing. It will be blank for you. Give here host name. Give here some name like 8 a.m. August. I am writing this profile name because I have already. I can write profile 8 a.m. August. Okay. Click on save. Once you do this, see it is using which server this. What is the port it is connecting? 22. Protocol SSH. What is this? Profile. You can select other protocols also like Telnet and other thing. Okay. Telnet will run at 23, but no, we are going to use SSH. Now do whatever I am saying. Go to window and increase this to 3 zeros. Go to appearance. For your eyes, you can increase this. Change and appear. For colors, if you want white background, you can select here. If you want to change any other color, you can select here. Maybe green. Okay. And you can click on connection. Make this 10 seconds between, keep alive. This is like this. Your putty will send some packets so that your server will not be timed out. This is important. Okay, whatever in top you have done, it is not so important. From connection, it is important. Make it 10. In data, you will go and give here the username. What will be the username? How will you know? See, there is a button called connect. You can click on connect, and here you will find the username. Copy this username and paste it. You can copy this whole command and paste it in your command prompt and it will work. You don't have to convert to PPK also. So this way you can use, but then I don't like this way. It's not about me again. Lot of people are there in company. They will not use this methodology. They will all use putty. Okay. Now here you go. Go to auth, browse, go to desktop and select this PPK, the PPK which you download. Now data is done, auth is done, everything else is done. Now go to session back, save it. Before save, do not click on open, save it. Okay, now click on open, accept and see you are connected. Okay, this is what I wanted to all of you to do. So till this, if you can complete, best. Nothing like this, because we should not be wasting our time now onwards in connection. We will not be using our, like we will be automating once, and next time we will don't have to do these things. So now I disconnected this putty. I'll again open putty, pin this putty. Okay, pin, unpin from the taskbar, pin this so that it will be always there. Click on this, load it. This putty is an old version putty. You have to use new version putty, which we have just now downloaded. And once you do this, pin it. Now you will not get it. Double click on it. So I want you all to do this. Now we will try to extend this. See here, we have connected. DevOps engineer connected here. Now we need to do the same exercise, which is how this customers will be able to access. So this side is done. Okay. Now we need to see how the other side will be able to do it. So for now, we need to configure.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.